I call this meeting to the Board of Public Works to order. First is election of officers. So do we have any nominations for Chairman of the Board of Public Works?
I have a nomination. Mike O'Reilly.
Any other nominations for the Chairman?
I would move that we close nominations and cast unanimous ballot for Mike.
Is there a second? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Mike, you are the chair, so if you want to join us, we can elect a vice chair. Or do we even? Okay. Hi, Derek.
Uh-oh. Oh, start over.
Can you hear us?
Can't hear you.
Your microphone is muted.
See if I can get a text.
No worries.
All right, now we need let's see if he.
I think he's still muted.
Derek, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Hey, Derek, could you hit the mute button on your device? Okay, we're seeing you're muted. Or unmuted, unmuted. Yeah.
I can hear him a little bit.
So that's on his phone.
Oh,
Can't hear us at all. It's not on our end, is it, Tom?
I don't, hang on, let's do this. Let's just do.
Yeah, stand by. We're going to check it over.
Derek, can you hear us now?
That's phone.
On it. Make sure video setting. Okay, try again.
Can you hear us now, Derek?
Nope. Still got nothing.
Why, he's on his phone.
Do we have to reboot or something? Or? Actually, I'll give Tyler that maybe you can help.
And I don't think we need to reboot it. I think it's just that it's not.
David, want me to unmute?
Yeah, you can try again. Let's see if it works.
David, can you hear me?
Hang on.
well, you're unmuted, but we don't hear you. Oh, wonderful tech.
Anybody going to sound like?
Yeah. Little mute icon went away. Oh, now it's back.
Going on and off.
Typical.
Really do this.
All right, can you hear us now?
Still nothing.
That's on me, but you're hearing his voice on that.
Oh, we should plan commission meetings happen, so.
I unmuted David.
Timer yet.
Here's the rest. Are you guys getting my audio?
Yeah.
Only through phone. We're not getting it via Zoom.
Zoom.
And we're dialed into the main line. We got the participants. I don't see the typical number I see under the participants for our Zoom meetings, the one that Jessica usually dials into.
I'm not sure. This was set up by IT before we walked in, I believe. So maybe you could try hanging up and redialing in and see if that makes a change.
Yeah, sounds good. Let me try switching and I'll jump back on. If it doesn't work, do you guys have a quorum?
Yes, we do.
I'll try to jump back in real quick. We don't have any audio. Worst case scenario, you guys head up quick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The guy that said we have an SOP.
We did. You know, didn't read it. I wrote it. Well, I would bet you if you did it by a phone, better. I tried dialing in. Yeah. I think. Right. Do it. Yeah, you could do it completely from his phone, probably. All right. All right, Derek, we see you're back. Can you hear us?
Hey, David, would him dialing in by way of his phone be?
Yeah,
Derek, could you take and either go by your phone and do Zoom through your phone? Would that work better? Yours. Just got rear-ended.
You saw that too, huh?
Yeah. Is that your phone ringing?
Phones, they're the nicest of phones make. Nobody ever knows whose it is. Everybody's reaching. This one. So,
somebody want phone numbers here. Island out.
The same as the email.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Must have that email.
Yeah, he has the email. He sent it out this morning.
I think he said he didn't have a list of the numbers, though. It's just saying,
What is the number?
well, it's
Or is it a long number? 309?
All the numbers? Yeah, it's in the email.
You can just
I think the room isn't dialed, oh, he thinks the room isn't dialed in.
Middle of me.
I hear you. Maybe he's in. Or without him, he's not having. Yeah, I said if he'd move on, that's fine.
All right. Well, Mike, you want to? Oh, there he goes. Move on to the next item.
Yeah. With that, we will move on to nominations for vice chairperson. Any nomination?
I'll nominate for Herman.
Any other nominations? Is he okay to accept it if he's not here?
I think so.
Should be. I don't know. Okay, with that,
I'll move that we close nominations and cast unanimous ballot for Derek.
nominations closed. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Does he know?
When he reads the minute.
Yeah, you'll see it in the minutes. Okay, item 3, approval of minutes from the April 15th, 2024 Board of Public Works meeting. Entertain. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. And item 4, citizens' comments. Any citizens' comments? Citizens' comments. I see none. Move to item 5, construction updates presented by Tim Rasmussen, street superintendent, and Josh Moritz, city engineer.
With the mild winter and early spring, the street division has kept busy completing a large amount of concrete joint repair, such as North Central and also over on Becker and Galvin intersection. We've also completed our asphalt street crack fill list, which consists of streets paved in 2023, 2019, 2014, 2013, 2012, and 2011. Along with crack filling all the streets in those paving years, we also crack filled the entire section of Veterans from McMillan to Man Road here this spring. We made short work of our normal operations of putting away our snow equipment and dirtying in stump holes from trees that were removed. so we could jump right into our busy construction schedule. So far this spring, we've been able to get the first section of catch basins and road panel replacements on Veterans Parkway completed, along with our sewer crew has been busy completing the installation of new mainline and laterals in the Chestnut, Blodgett, and Depot area. The concrete crew is now following behind as lateral and service work, water service work are getting done so that they can get the concrete put back for a new asphalt surface. This work is now at the top of our priority list for that area to get completed before Dairy Fest. Any question?
So I have one question we talked about, I think, before the meeting, but joint repair. So we're just talking concrete joint repair?
This spring we did joint repair on joints that are out of the traditional crack filling criteria. They're exposed wider than what we would want to spend and trust the tar to be put in. So we used a product called Elephant Armor, and we actually milled a clean edge and put Elephant Armor in this year as a way to reduce some of that maintenance cycle back up there with our patching wag.
So that might be a diamond-shaped cut on a concrete or concrete intersection, I guess, where the panels come together? It
produces a 6-inch wide, 1.5 inch deep router joint. Some of those smaller joints could be just placed Elephant Armor to fill the diamond shapes that you're talking about. Mm-hmm. But this is more, even further eroded joints that we did this work on.
Good. Examples of locations where Tim did this was on that street department crew was North Central Avenue and the intersection of Galvin and Becker Road. And it sometimes doesn't ride 100% perfect, but it's a lot better than the previous joint and how that road before we did the repairs. I think it really is working well. And what we've found in the past is that these repairs are lasting versus doing pothole filling. These will last 5, 6, 10 years or more.
Thank you.
I don't really have a construction update. None of our contracted work has started yet. It's all in the planning and bidding phases. So I think for me.
Okay, thank you. Item 6, approval of agreement for asphalt rejuvenating surface treatment presented by Tim Rasmussen, Street Superintendent.
So each year, the city budgets for the maintenance and the repair of asphalt and concrete joints in our annual seal coat and crack filling program budget. The annual seal coat and crack fill program currently consists of a three-part program. The first being concrete and asphalt crack filling. The second is the repair of deteriorated cracks and joints on our concrete and asphalt streets where crack filling is not an option, such as the Becker-Galvin intersection. And the third is the application of surface treatment on our asphalt streets. Prior to 2020, the surface treatment practice has been to apply a chip seal in the 5 to 7 year range after a new asphalt pavement is placed, and then follow up with another chip seal 7 to 10 years later. While this approach has generally been effective, we have found several undesirable consequences from this process. Some consequences are the aging process prior to receiving any surface treatment, also the tendency to delaminate, and finally, the rising prices and quality of materials used to chip and slag seal. In 2020, the city explored an alternative option, which was a rejuvenator called Reclamite. Rejuvenators are designed to penetrate the asphalt to strengthen the surface and resist the effects of sun and water exposure. The best candidates for rejuvenators are pavements in good condition. Since 2020, we have applied Reclamite to nearly 434,000 square yards of asphalt surface at a price ranging from $95 to $1.16 per square yard. In comparison, the last year we completed a chip seal was 2021, and the price was $2.05 per square yard. In 2024, our target for Reclamite application is to cover just under 90,000 square yards of asphalt streets. This list includes 1-year-old streets and also to begin the second application of previously reclamited streets. This year, the city budgeted $375,000 in the annual seal coat and crack filling budget, and it is our recommendation to approve the proposal from Corrective Asphalt Materials at the cost of $1.09 per square yard for an estimated total of $97,448. With that, I'll take any questions.
Have a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Item 7, award contract for East 14th Street reconstruction presented by Josh Moritz, city engineer.
All right, so last week, Wednesday, we opened bids for this project. We received 2 bids. A low bid was submitted by Earth Inc. out of Arpin in the amount of $1,709,332.80. We also received a bid from Haas Sons from Thorpe for $1,799,999.99. Construction costs have risen again from last year, about 20% is what we've seen. So this memo also details the budget breakdown. So Earth's bid was $1,709,332.80. That did not include the asphalt costs, which are bid under a separate citywide asphalt contract. That number is $169,763.23. This project also includes planting 23 terrace trees to replace many that we took out, in addition to add a few more that weren't there before. Those 23 terrace trees came in at a cost of $9,200, which is not part of this contract with Earth. So that subtotals $1,888,296.03. We typically budget 10% for engineering costs and a 5% contingency to the contract, which puts the grand total at $2,171,540.43. From a funding standpoint, the CIP had $1,163,000 in for the street and storm sewer. $290,000 was in the CIP for the wastewater portion. And then looking at what the bid costs came in at, the water utilities funding for their utilities would be $376,584, which leaves us a shortfall of $341,956.43. After reviewing the bid costs versus the budgeted funding, I propose reducing the 2024 asphalt paving program budget by the corresponding shortfall rather than requesting additional funding from contingency. So my recommendation is that contract 2024-04 14th Street reconstruction from Maple Avenue to Vine Avenue be awarded to the low bidder of Earth Incorporated of Arpin in the amount of $1,709,332.80 and to authorize execution of a contract. I further recommend that the funding shortfall of $341,956.43 be funded by reducing the 2024 asphalt paving program budget by a corresponding amount.
Any questions?
I'll make a motion on the first part of the recommendation, and that is to award the contract as recommended. And I have questions on the second part. That's why I'm holding off on that.
Do we have a second? Okay. Motion and a second. Any questions?
Yeah. So on that stretch of street, how many water laterals are lead that'll have to be replaced? And then I got another question. You take the stand. What's the time frame for this project? And then getting into the next part, I'm just a little reluctant to, maybe it's just on understanding the budgeting process, but I'm a little reluctant to take money from other areas in the public works that also need attention. And we always hear that our streets are in bad shape, and pulling $341.9 thousand from street or asphalt paving program. I just wonder if there's some other way to do that without sacrificing other street repairs.
I could address the first couple questions you had about the number of lead services. I don't know the exact number of lead services, but the plan is to replace anything that's not copper. Some people have already done that through private plumbers, so some are okay. Same with the sewer laterals. The plan is to replace anything that's not PVC. Like I said, several have already undertaken that on their own. So we're just getting copper water service and PVC sewer laterals to the right of way.
Duration of the project?
The duration, the schedule is tentatively to start soon after Dairy Fest, like potentially that Monday even, and with the other bookend being the fair. So it's a pretty tight time schedule. I think it can be reached.
I'll address the funding questions. In this, we have 188,000 as, or 94,000 as contingency. We had some work that was not completed in the 2023 budget for asphalt paving and overlays. There were some dollars that are being carried over from that, which will help with this funding shortfall. And I have not had the opportunity to talk with finance yet, but we originally had 125,000 in the airport budget for doing runway work from APRA funding. Yet that, because of some delay issues on the master plan with the airport, that's now delayed beyond our spending time for that. So I'm looking to propose to carry that 125 back to fund the shortfall, but I was unable to even get to the point of even asking any of these questions before this meeting.
Okay, I guess my thought, I don't want to hold up progress, but if there's an opportunity to find that 341 somewhere else without sacrificing other street work, that would be my vote. So for the purpose of moving forward, knowing you'll probably have that conversation, I'll amend my motion to include the second part of the recommendation.
Are you going to second it, Brian? Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 8, award bid for Green Acres Estates, first edition, presented by Tom Turchi, Director of Public Works.
All right, we opened bids for the Green Acres Estates first edition there off of Washington Avenue. The low bid was submitted by Haas Sons Incorporated of Thorpe, Wisconsin. And in this memo, you'll notice I typed the amount in wrong a half a dozen times. It's $2,659,662.62. We had 4 bids with this project. Current negotiations with Denyon Homes for the development of a 77-acre subdivision here is in progress, which we'll be working some more tomorrow evening, and that will get the streets, storm sewers, sanitary sewers, gas mains, electrical service to the site. So looking at a special meeting being held by the Common Council on May 7th, which is tomorrow night, to discuss the developers agreement and some of the other pieces of the puzzle to get this project from start to finish. So we have a total cost of infrastructure at $2,659,662.62. We have a contingency of $297,577. The projected asphalt paving for this project is $316,100.56. We anticipate construction, staking, and inspection at approximately $250,000. Now, this is for inspection of the infrastructure that's being done here. We do not have enough staff right now, with the absence of a civil engineer, to do all the construction inspection in-house. We anticipate We Energy's gas installation at $140,000, the electric installation at $213,000, and then miscellaneous fees for the plat, design, and miscellaneous invoices at $23,000, for a total project cost of estimated at $3,899,340.18. We did submit this information to our financial advisor, and the project does cash flow with this. So therefore, I'm recommending that we award contract 2024-02 Green Acres Estates First Edition to Haas Sons Thorpe in the amount of $2,659,662.62 and authorize the execution of a contract pending the following elements are finalized. So I got several things before we send that notice of award letter out. First being the developer's agreement is executed by all parties. Second, the budget resolution to authorize the borrowing necessary to fund the project through TID 13 is approved and completed. And Denyon Homes is in the process of scheduling the purchase of all the property within the plat that is proposed. So the proposed award date would probably be this Friday at sometime at this Friday. So that's my recommendation.
Have a motion? Have a second. Any questions? No questions. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Review and approval of 2024 sanitary sewer project plans presented by Josh Moritz, City Engineer.
Thank you. The plans in your packet are for a project we have on South Maple from Central Avenue to 16th Street. It involves primarily replacing sewer laterals and water services. The plans are not really quite ready to be put out for bid, but I can give you kind of a high-level overview of this. Tom, I don't know if you're able to display it or not.
That's, yeah. All right, there we go.
In a nutshell, the water utility will come in first and install water mains. And then our contractor will come in and remove pavement and install sewer laterals and the water services jointly. The contractor will bring the grade back up to concrete pavement. And when they are complete, city staff will come in and do the final concrete patching, any concrete repairs that are necessary prior to some overlay work. So that's kind of the high-level picture of or level view of the project. If you have any questions, I can take.
Can I get a clarification on that, please? You had said Maple from Main Street to 16th?
From Central Avenue, which is...
From Central Avenue?
Yeah, up to 16th Street.
By Wheelers
Wheelers.
Automotive.
Okay.
From there all the way up to 16th. So
from that
with
okay.
the amount of patching that's done, we are looking at some of the various options. We had originally intended this as an overlay project when it was first planned 4 years ago in our asphalt program. The number of patches, it has grown from an overlay project as the water utility wanted to get in and replace water services and get rid of any lead under the street and fix some of their water main. We then grabbed on and decided we would do sanitary sewer laterals to help with some of those on there. So there's going to be a lot of patching on the street. So we might find sections that have enough patches in it that we may not have to do overlay work. So we're reevaluating the whole project, but we are going to looking to get the ride quality that we've been looking for on this after this is all completed.
Okay. Entertain a motion.
So moved. Do you need a motion?
Second? Second. Motion and a second. Any additional questions? With that, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Number 10, request for proposal for construction services for Green Acres Estates, first edition, presented by Tom Turchi, Director of Public Works.
All right, the City of Marshfield Common Council anticipated to award the contract 2024-02 for the construction of Green Acres Estates, first edition, during the 2024 construction season. Over the next several days, we'll be making several decisions for the development of Green Acres which will create an additional 77 homes in the city of Marshfield. This development will construct 22 twin homes, 39 single-family detached homes, and 16 townhomes. This project will be funded through TID 13. Over the past year, we've had a reorganization with personnel within the Public Works Department and Engineering Division due to retirement, which has left a vacant position of Civil Engineer 1. This position currently remains open, and to date, we have only had one applicant who subsequently turned down the offer for employment. This vacancy creates a gap in our ability to complete and address all the work we have on the schedule identified within the CIP. Therefore, it will be necessary to hire a consultant to assist with construction inspection for the Green Acres Estates First Edition subdivision. The proposed RFP is attached. A predetermined list of consultants is invited to submit proposals outlining their qualifications and anticipated costs for the services for this project. The consultant then are ranked based upon their proposals and their fee for service. So I'm requesting approval of the request for proposals for construction inspection services for the Green Acres Estates First Edition subdivision and authorize staff to solicit proposals.
I'll move to approve.
A motion? And a second? Any questions? I see none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. Item 11, request changes, Chapter 13, Special Assessment, Section 13-96, presented by Tom Turchi, Director of Public Works.
All right, city staff has been working on infrastructure development for the Green Acres First Edition. It has been suggested by our financial advisor on the tax incremental district or development project that we provide a provision added to Chapter 13, Section 13-96 of the Public Works Ordinance to waive special assessments when a connection fee is part of incentives that provides special assessments to be waived. So there are two benefits to this change. It removes the challenges that can occur with special assessments, but it also offers a greater benefit. It allows the city to go after non-taxable bonding as a part of the financing infrastructure within this tax incremental financing district. This type of bonding has a typical rate that is 2 to 3% less than ordinary bonding issues. The proposed change is one simple one sentence to add additional sentence addition to allow for the waiving of special assessments by the approval of the Common Council as part of incentives or if a connection fee is agreed upon as part of a developer agreement. So item H, special assessments may be waived in the discretion of the Common Council through the approval of a developer's agreement that contains a provision for the waiver of special assessments for the improvements contemplated as part of the project, which is the subject of the development agreement. Therefore, I am recommending that the following provision be added to Chapter 13, Section 96 of the Municipal Code, and that the revision be referred to the Common Council for their consideration. And the Ordinance 1512 is attached.
Entertain a motion? Have a motion, any second? Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Go ahead.
Tom, what was the name of the financial advisor on this?
We used Ellers.
Okay,
Yeah, so they've been consistent with us through this entire project.
thank you.
Any more comments or questions? I see none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 12, update on communications relocation, presented by Tom Turchi, Director of Public Works.
Well, I originally had written a memo and was going to award this tonight, then I was asked to pull it because there was some other discussion behind the scenes for this project. But we opened bids for the update or the remodeling of the communications department in the basement of City Hall. The remodeling came in at $48,800. The secondary or the alternate bid was $2,200, and that was to change out the ceiling tiles, in the studio itself to go all black for that portion of the project, for a total cost of $51,000 for this. We only had one bid for this, and this was the second time that I had put it out for advertisements. Since there's some other things that have come up, most likely what we'll be doing is at the next normal common council meeting, we'll have a small meeting prior to that. Looks like that we'll be looking to award this bid as bid and get the process started and get the work underway for this project. Are there any questions on the bid for communications remodel?
No action anticipated at this time?
Not at this time, no.
Okay. Any comments, questions? All right, we'll move on. Item 13, recommended items for future agendas. I see none. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.